7 News Europe Bureau Chief Hugh Whitfield is in Windsor. Hugh, Prince Philip's children have remembered him as an exceptional father.
Nat, good morning. Yes, his two youngest sons, Andrew and Edward, have attended a service at a private chapel on the grounds of the Windsor estate. Prince Edward has spoken about the shock of losing his father. Prince Andrew has offered an insight into how the Queen is feeling right now. She is telling other members of the family that there is a huge void in her life, while the Countess of Wessex has told how the Duke of Edinburgh slipped away. A family united in grief. Prince Andrew and Prince Edward speak candidly on the loss of their father, Prince Philip, at a service outside the Royal Chapel of All Saints.
I think the way I would put it is that we've lost almost the grandfather of the nation. However much one tries to prepare oneself for something like this, it's still a dreadful shock.
Edward's wife, Sophie, gave an insight into the Duke of Edinburgh's final moments.
It was right for him.
Probably people wear masks if they want to.
It was so gentle. It's just like somebody took you by the hand. Very, very peaceful. And that's all you want somebody to do.
Prince Andrew describing his mother as an incredibly stoic person, contemplating the loss of her husband of 73 years.
She described it as having left a huge void in her life.
The same sentiment felt by Princess Anne, who released this touching photo saying, "My father has been my teacher, my support and my critic. But mostly it is his example of a life well lived and service freely given that I most wanted to emulate."
He was a remarkable man. I loved him as a father.
The Princess Royal also saying in that statement that, quote, "You know it's going to happen, but you are never really ready." This family is feeling the pain that so many families across Britain have felt over the last 12 months because of the pandemic, and Prince Andrew spoke about that today. They can now really empathise with the loss of those families. Interestingly too, that we have heard from Prince Andrew at all today, considering the controversy that surrounds his life. He did speak about one of the reasons why he's going to miss his father, and it's when he had a problem, he says, he could go to his father and the Duke would listen. A lot of listening over the years, Nat.
I'm sure. 7 News Europe correspondent Sarah Greenoch is at Buckingham Palace with breaking news today. Prince Harry reportedly has arrived in London just a few hours ago.
Nat, a witness has told the Sun newspaper here that he saw Prince Harry arrive on a British Airways flight from LA into London at about 1 p.m. local time, that he was apparently met on the tarmac there by security guards and by police, that he was taken away in a Range Rover, and we believe he headed off to Kensington Palace, or more specifically to Nottingham Cottage, which is where he and Meghan lived before they were married. That is possibly where Harry is conducting his 5 days of self-isolation that is required in accordance with Britain's COVID rules. Today, here in the UK, it was Harry's relationship with Prince William that was once again making headlines after the former British Prime Minister, Sir John Major, spoke to the BBC saying that now this moment of immense grief is the perfect opportunity for the brothers to mend their rift.
The friction that we are told has arisen is a friction better ended as speedily as possible, and a shared emotion, a shared grief at the present time because of the death of their father, of their grandfather.
Prince Philip's funeral on Saturday will be held at the same chapel where Harry and Meghan wed back in 2018. This time, the eyes of the world will be on the relationship between Harry and his family. He will be walking behind the Duke of Edinburgh's coffin alongside Charles and William. Harry, we understand, will not be wearing his military uniform, having been stripped of all of those honorary titles as part of the Megxit process, including Captain General of the Royal Marines, which was a title that he was actually given by the Duke of Edinburgh.